Hey everyone, welcome back. Now the three VPNs I recommend the most on this channel are Express, Nord, and Surfshark, and for very good reason. They're some of the best, most secure, and most consistent VPNs out of the couple dozen VPNs I've tested so far. That said, they're not exactly identical, and when looking at different categories like privacy policy, speed, streaming, and torrenting, as well as features where one might excel at a specific category, it might fall short in another. So I decided to make this video to compare these three VPNs across all these categories to give you a better idea of what they can and can't do, and ultimately help you make a more informed decision on which one works best for you. Besides that, if you're interested in any of these VPNs and would like to check them out for yourself, you'll find links to pricing and discounts, as well as full reviews in the description down below. And without further ado, let's get started. Kicking things off with privacy policies, all three of these VPNs have a strict no logs policy, and they operate on RAM-only servers, which means that they cannot collect or share any of your data. And while most VPNs out there claim that they do not log any data with no proof whatsoever, Express, Nord, and Surfshark have all been audited and verified by third-party firms like PwC, Deloitte, and Cure53. So instead of hoping that your VPN does not log your activity, you know for sure that your data is safe and sound with these VPNs. Now with that being said, ExpressVPN has a bit of an edge in this category because back in 2017, the Turkish government seized one of their servers as part of an ongoing investigation, only to find nothing of use on that server. And so ExpressVPN has the most verified no logs policy of the three. So if you're a privacy conscious individual, this one would be right up your alley. That said, Nord and Surfshark are still just as secure and trustworthy. So no matter which one you go for, your data will be safe. Next up, we've got speed. But before we get into the specifics, I want to quickly point out that experiencing a loss in speed is inevitable when it comes to VPNs due to the time it takes to encrypt your data. That said, depending on how much the speed drops, you can really tell what's a good VPN and what isn't. For example, any speed drops that range between 10 to 25% are considered excellent, and even speed drops up to 40% are still considered good. But you never want to go above 40% because that'd be almost half your speed, which is not that great. Now, when it comes to speed, Nord is not only the fastest on the list, but in the industry overall, thanks to the NordLynx protocol, as it ranges from 10 to 25% speed drops at most, with instances where it goes even below 10%, which is the fastest I've personally seen. Close second, we've got ExpressVPN, which is almost the exact same as NordVPN, as it ranges between 10 to 25% speed drops as well, but it doesn't dip into the sub 10% as much as Nord. And in third place, we've got Surfshark, which is not as fast as the other two, but is still fast in its own right. Its speed drops range between 15 to 35%, which is still faster than most VPNs out there, and would allow you to do whatever you're using the VPN for without any issues. And so if your primary goal is speed, NordVPN is the premier choice here, but Express and Surfshark are really good options as well. Next up, let's talk about features, and right off the bat, all three of these VPNs have all the standard and essential features like the kill switch, split tunneling, and a handful of protocols. The kill switch, for example, is the most important feature to have as it severs your internet connection the second you accidentally disconnect from the VPN, and by doing so, it prevents your data from leaking over to your ISP or government. Another feature these VPNs have in common is split tunneling, which allows you to choose which apps use the VPN connection and which ones use your regular connection. For example, I can set Express to only work with Netflix, meanwhile my Call of Duty game is set on my regular connection so that I don't switch regions. I don't see a lot of people giving this feature the time of day, but once you get to try it, you'll experience how efficient it makes things. Besides these two features, all three of these VPNs share a threat manager system that blocks ads, trackers, and malware-infected sites. But I would say Nord's threat protection feature is the more advanced between the three, as it also monitors and downloads and stops any malware from going into your system. Other than that, ExpressVPN and NordVPN have also implemented an identity theft protection feature, and they'll assist you in identity restoration expenses and effort, while Surfshark battles identity theft by offering you an alternative ID that you can use online, be it email or phone number. And it's also partnered with Incogni to offer a data removal feature where you can wipe every speck of your information from people's search websites and brokers. Now, that's pretty much all these three share in common, and coincidentally, that's all Express has to offer in terms of features. But that is deliberate, as they intend to keep the app more beginner and intermediate friendly, so they stay away from features and granular controls that the average user won't need on a day-to-day basis. With that said, the VPN that offers the most bonus features out of the three is going to be NordVPN, which is why I consider it the best value VPN in the industry. Outside of what we already talked about, NordVPN also offers an app kill switch, which is similar to the traditional kill switch, except it only shuts down selected apps when you accidentally disconnect from the VPN instead of terminating your entire connection. There's also this feature called MeshNet, which allows you to share files securely over the encrypted network of Nord, which, by the way, you can use this to hold LAN parties. That's pretty cool. Besides that, there's also the Dark Web Monitor, which keeps an eye out for your personal information on the dark web and informs you should it find anything related to you. And then you've got a bunch of specialty servers that could be useful in a lot of different situations, like DoubleVPN, which routes your internet through 2 VPN servers for double the protection, Onion over VPN servers, which gives you all the advantages of the Onion router combined with the extra security of a VPN tunnel. You also have P2P specialty servers that are specifically optimized for P2P activities, like torrenting, for both added protection and better performance. And then outside of features, you also get a lot of granular control over your settings with Nord, where you can do things like set a custom DNS or keep the device invisible on LAN. And as far as Surfshark features, similar to Nord, it has a bunch of specialty servers like multi-hop, also known as DoubleVPN, for double the protection. And you also have static IP servers that will give you the same IP server every time you connect to them. Also similar to Nord's Dark Web Monitor, Surfshark has a personal data monitor that does the exact same thing, but better. You see, the Dark Web Monitor, you only get to keep an eye out for your email and phone number on the dark web. With Surfshark's alerts, not only does it monitor emails and passwords, but it also keeps an eye out for your credit card information, as well as your personal ID itself. Besides these two, you also have a safe search engine with Surfshark that would yield you organic and private results, so instead of using Google or Bing, you can simply use this instead. And so when it comes to features, if you want the most value VPN, NordVPN offers the most features, options, and granular control over your settings, followed by Surfshark, which has a couple of nice features as well as all the essentials. And then there's ExpressVPN, keeping it simple by only including the essential features. Moving on to streaming and torrenting capabilities, all 3 of these VPNs are fantastic for streaming. In fact, they're the only 3 VPNs that I would say consistently access streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, and whatnot. And that's due to their obfuscation technology that makes your encrypted connection look like normal internet traffic, and then allows you to easily walk around firewalls that would normally prevent encrypted VPN connections from accessing the site. Also, since each VPN has servers in over 100 countries, you can access pretty much any streaming service or show from around the world. To give you a clearer picture, NordVPN has access to 118 countries, Express has access to 105 countries, and Surfshark has access to 100 countries. So yeah, lots of content to consume. And then, for torrenting, all 3 of these VPNs allow for torrenting with unlimited bandwidth and no speed throttling. And in this category, I would say it's a tie, but I'm slightly leaning towards NordVPN because it has access to the most countries, which would in turn get you access to the most amount of content. Now, as far as customer service goes, all 3 of these VPNs have 24/7 live chat support, so you can contact them whenever you have an issue. And from my personal experience, I found them to be extremely useful when it comes to issues that need a lot of technical knowledge. Moving on to cost, all 3 of these VPNs are very budget friendly, costing almost less than $5 a month if you go for their multi-year plans. But for the sake of comparison, ExpressVPN costs the most at around $5 a month for the 2-year plan, NordVPN costs about $4 for the 2-year plan, and then Surfshark being the most affordable, costing around $2.50 for the 2-year plan. And that's very interesting that Surfshark costs almost half the other 2, because not only does it offer premium-like quality for a VPN, but you can also use it on an unlimited number of devices with 1 subscription, as opposed to ExpressVPN's 8-device limit and NordVPN's 10-device limit. So again, all 3 of these VPNs are very affordable, but Surfshark takes the cake here. So with all that being said, which of these VPNs do I recommend? Well, it really depends on what you're looking for in a VPN. If you want the best overall, most secure, and easiest to use VPN that is very high in performance and connects to servers almost instantly, I say go for ExpressVPN. It's my personal favorite among the 3, and I always recommend it to anyone getting started with VPNs. Now, in case you're looking for a VPN that offers the most value in terms of bonus features and granular control over your settings, NordVPN might be right up your alley. And then if you're looking to spend the absolute least amount of money while having a VPN that gets the job done without sacrificing any security or any core VPN features, then Surfshark would be the ideal choice here. And so with that, we've reached the end of today's video. Thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in Nord, Express, or Surfshark, you'll find links to pricing and discounts as well as full reviews in the description down below. Besides that, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and leave a comment if you have any questions, and I'll be happy to answer all of them. And again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day.